This demonstration is on how to create a splatter texture on your leaves. You can do splattering on wet paint or you can do it on dry paint. To get started, we need to create a mask. This will go over our leaf form and keep the splatter from going everywhere. And the technique is to use a short, stiff brush to flick the paint through the mask onto the leaf. To make the mask, you should take a piece of sketching paper and lay it on top of your watercolor drawing. Sketch over the leaf shape. You can then cut out the leaf shape with a pair of scissors. To start by poking a hole in the middle and cut out around. When you're finished, you should have something that looks like this to place over the top. The next thing we want to do is to erase the pencil lines so that we have a painting instead of a drawing, because we don't want the pencil marks to really show up. So let's get rid of those. Prepare your paints. We want to do a light color paint for the leaf, and then we want to do a darker color for the splatter. I've already mixed up my yellow for the lighter color. For the darker color, I'm just going to drop my brush in some water and just drop a little bit right onto the paints. I'm not going to mix it up a lot. I'm just going to let the water sit there for a minute to soak in. Once you have this erased and your paints are ready, you can go ahead and paint the leaf. And you want to make sure you have plenty of paint to work with for this step, because that way, if you're doing the wet splatter, you want it to be able to soak into the colors. All right, so there's my leaf painting. I could let this dry for the next step, or I can just go right in with the wet splatter. Okay, so this is wet. I'm going to place my mask on top. I'm going to pick up this short, stiff bristle brush. Don't use your watercolor brush for this. I'm going to jam it into the dark paint. This should mostly be a dry brush with a little bit of paint on the surface. Next up, I'm going to hold the brush over the area and then flick it like that. And it's just flinging the paint onto the leaf shape, and then I can pull the mask off, and there is a splatter.